Hey guys, it's Liam from CNC Marine. We're here with Get Offshore Go. We've got James and Erin. This is their 65 HTO built by Grays Marine. We're going to jump on board and check it out. Alrighty, so welcome to Fingal, guys. Obviously, this is your 65 HTO. This is Get Offshore Go for those playing at home. This is James, this is Erin. Tell us about your boat.
Right, well, this is our new 6500 hardtop offshore. We absolutely love it. We built the dream boat that we really wanted, and these guys have been nothing but awesome to work with along the way.
Yeah, this is the first design process that I've been involved in. The last boat that we built, the Tabs, was more a solo fishing boat for Jim, and in that time I decided to get into fishing and get into it a bit, so I was able to really follow along with the design process, with the 3D imagery, with everything like that. It made it super easy for me to visualize what was actually happening with the boat and actually help make some decisions in regards to the boat. So it's been a really smooth and easy process designing this boat, and yeah, it's been really easy to follow along with it, with all the sort of the imagery that's come along. For sure.
What made you want to go down the modification to the 65 HTO? Like what was the decision process behind it?
A really bad day at sea. We got caught offshore in a big westerly, and we just had a really bad day with a couple of the boys, and then from there on we just decided, nah, bigger, more comfort, let's go, let's do it, let's go all out. And with Erin getting more into it, it just needed to do it a bit better than we were, I suppose. So.
I really wanted a seat. There was no seat in the last boat, and I wanted somewhere to sit and ride, and I wanted a more comfortable, stable ride. We do a lot of offshore fishing in all kinds of weather because we don't get a lot of opportunity to go out. So if the weather is okay, we're out. So we wanted something that was going to be stable and comfortable. And yeah, it was a decision for us to further sort of our dream of being able to do this for a living. And to be able to camp on the boat, to be able to take it offshore, to be able to go on long journeys. So yeah, that was the reason behind the modifications that we put into it.
Go a bit further and do a bit more.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about Get Offshore Go. Like, what is it? What are you guys trying to do? What do you want to do? What's the future look like?
We just want to go fishing and diving
and somebody pay us to do it. The ultimate goal is to be able to do this for a living, to be on the water, in the water, around the water for a living, and also showing people and documenting what we do, because there's so many people out there that don't get to see the stuff that we see. And you know, a sunset, a sunrise on the ocean is just, you can't put words to it. Yeah. So for us, it's about showing people that can't get out and see it what we do, and about doing what we love constantly. So yeah.
Even then, like just this morning we went out, saw a few whales jumping around, so it's always a nice little thing.
Never gets old.
Nah, you don't get sick of it, that's for sure.
Seeing dolphins riding alongside the boat, seeing whales breaching, seeing sunrises and sunsets, it's the ultimate goal of what we do.
That's
so
it.
And hopefully we catch a few fish along the way.
That helps as well. How did the build process start? Like, how did you find a builder? How did you find Grays Marine? And what made you sort of get into that process instead of buying something off the shelf?
So, could not find anything off the shelf that really suited what we want. Like, it was, it would have been a huge compromise one way or the other, depending on what road we went down. I think it was a Google search for just custom boats. Mm-hmm. And that was just custom plate boats. We always wanted a plate boat. And I don't know how much of a thing of it really is, but like, I really wanted a casting deck and a cabin. So not a center cabin, but a cabin boat with a casting deck, and a few other little creature comforts too. So
that's it. We watch a lot of YouTube, and we watch a lot of other people who do this for a living, and then we find on YouTube, we looked at boat reviews, and we just watched boat reviews over and over and over again, and it was just a meticulous process. And then we found CNC Marine, and then I'm pretty sure we watched nearly every single CNC Marine boat review that there is known to man, and then watched them over and over again. And it was a lot of research and a lot of time spent looking, a lot of reviewing and people's personal experiences. So that really helped us. And then from there, it was just gung-ho.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Obviously, it's a pretty heavily modified 65 HGO. It's got an interesting little cabin bonnet or bow on it. So obviously, like James said, it's more for like basically having a casting deck on a cabin boat. You don't see that very often, but also having a pretty usable cabin below, and you've got a full cockpit as well to use. So plenty of room for fishing. Obviously, they love to do that. So tell us a bit more about the build, guys. Obviously, you went with Grays Marine down in Yamba. Tell us why you went with them. How did you find them in the first place? And yeah, why you went with them to build your dream boat?
Did a lot of research into builders and who's done what, and just checked out a big old gallery of everyone's Facebook page and website. And Grays seemed to tick all the boxes. When we spoke to them, they were pretty helpful in what I wanted to build and what I sort of, or what we wanted. Yeah, it was good. It was an easy process. They pump out great work. If you can find a builder that builds stuff to survey, then generally they're going to do pretty good work. So that's sort of what we looked for when we were hunting around.
We had a lot of people say to us, why didn't you go local, close to where you live? Because we're down in Wollongong, they're up in Yamba. But for us, it was more about getting the best boat builder that we could. It didn't really matter where it was. It was just the boat builder that was going to suit us and suit our needs. So, and Grays Marine ticked all the boxes.
For sure. How was the process? So you guys got Grays to build to Hotworks, and then you took the boat back down to where you live and fitted out yourself, yeah?
Yeah, so Grays did all the hot works and got it on a trailer for us, and then we got it home and started drilling holes and cutting holes everywhere for fit out. We did all the fit out ourselves. Very painful process, not fun. Like you thought it would have been fun, and a lot slower than we thought. I think we thought we'd do it in about 2 or 3 weekends. I think it took about 8, and a lot of works. After work at night and all that sort of stuff. It was a lot more work than we thought. It was a lot more money than we thought.
But it did also save us a lot of money, and it allowed us to do exactly what we wanted with the fit out. So which is why we decided to. We did the same thing with the last boat. We fitted out because it could be exactly what we wanted. And it did take a bit longer, and it probably was more stressful. It did save us a bit of money in the long run, but I'm glad we did it ourselves because we got it the way we wanted it.
We had my cousin on board. He's just like a wizard with wiring. Like he's unreal. So big shout out to him. He done most of it.
I think it's definitely rewarding just doing some of that stuff yourself as well. I guess some people we get come in being like a DIYer, building the whole thing themselves, and they're taking on this massive project where they're going the whole way through, say building a 65 HGO for example. They finish the boat, get it to Hotworks, and then go and do the fit out as well afterwards, which is an awful lot of work. So,
hats off to them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I just mentioned, guys, you did the fit out yourself. Bit of a painstaking process, bit of a love-hate relationship maybe. Is there any tips and tricks you have for anyone playing along at home?
Yeah. Definitely in the design process, some things that we overlooked, forgot about. Dash layout. Definitely look at your dash layout, what you're going to put in there, where it's going to go, and measure everything. We wanted to put everything in there and could only fit X amount. Could have been planned a bit better, but that was my fault. We actually left it to like the very last minute the dash was built, and I had to ring Steve and say, mate, is there anything you can do? I need to fit this, and this. It worked out well, but it could have been horrible.
I guess it goes back to the age old, like measure twice, cut once.
That's
so if you know what you're putting in, it's a hard thing with a build. You never know what you're going to do until it's in front of you. So, but yeah, if you've got all the room for it, you can get in there and chop it out yourself. So,
but definitely definitely like dealing with you direct, back and forth with the 3D images was sick. Like, change this, I like that, I don't like that. Then we'd talk on the phone, and it was a very fast, easy process to get what we wanted. It wasn't hard, it wasn't difficult. I think that was really good, sort of being able to see it on paper, what we were looking for.
Yep. And when you budget, have your budget, and then have a nice buffer.
Have a secondary budget.
Have a secondary budget, because I can tell you right now, it blows out quick. But at the end of the day,
like,
it's
for
affordable,
what it is, it's
and what
definitely
it does. But for all the extras that you might want on there, just tack a little bit on top.
For the things you love, you got to pay for it.
That's
100%. It's well worth it in the end. Most of our decisions went along the lines of, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can always make money back.
That's it.
Can't make memories back.
Exactly.
So given you guys did fit this out yourself, do you have any tips and tricks for people at home?
Yeah, definitely consider what hatches you're going to use. There's a lot of different size hatches and different brands. We got caught out where we had to buy another brand of hatch and it didn't match anything, but that's all we could fit. So just know what you're going to use, I suppose. That's it goes without saying, but know what you're going to use. Talk to you guys about it. Dimensions, they're a huge thing. What else is there?
Planning. Oh, sorry, I'm the budget person, so I just keep saying budget. But yeah, planning and budget and sort of discussions, and really know what you want, and also sticking to your guns about what you want as well, because sometimes you can be sort of pushed in a few different directions, but
don't let anyone else build your boat. Don't let your mates tell you what you want.
Yeah.
You know what you want. Build what you want.
Definitely.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. And a ton of patience.
Yes.
You need a ton of patience.
Patient.
And that's about it.
Like I mentioned before, it's a pretty heavily modified 65 HTO, so we're going to run you through everything they've done and what they've done during the build as well. So, James, what have you done with the cabin bonnet here?
Mate, this is a tough one because it didn't look good on paper, but it worked in my head. We really wanted a casting deck, and we also wanted access up to the roof. We do tend to spend a bit of time up there trolling, looking for birds, fish, all that sort of thing. And that's just worked out perfect. Plenty of room.
You guys fish up there a fair bit?
Yeah, do heaps of casting off there. We just come back from the reef and did a bit of a stint up there. Casting top water off there was awesome.
Back up in Agnes, was it? Or?
Yeah,
nice.
Back up at Agnes, and it's a nice spot to not going to lie, sit and drink a beer.
It is good.
We got dolphins that are swimming along the side of the boat. You're sitting up there, or you're sitting up there, and you can just see everything. So, in the absence of a big Furuno on the top, we've got my eyes up there searching for things. So
just as good.
that's basically what we wanted. We wanted something that we could get up there, because that's our happy place.
Definitely. I'd agree with that. Tell us a bit more about Agnes. What was it like up there? What did you guys do up there? A little bit of an adventure, I guess.
It was so good. We only got 2 days. We had some pretty bad weather, but we got 2 good days of fishing in, and
2 amazing days of fishing. We went back to Lady Musgrave Island, which we went to about 4 years ago for our 10-year wedding anniversary, and it was really good to head back there, but this time actually fish and dive, because back then I wasn't into fishing or diving, and so it was great to actually experience it. So we went up there, we trolled a couple of the pinnacles, and we managed to each get our first cobia for the boat. I got my first 2 Spanish mackerel as well. So, and it was just an interesting experience dodging whales, trying to troll for fish. So it was great. It was an amazing family holiday with a couple of good days of fishing and some diving in between. So
perfect. I guess the perfect family boat, enough room for 4 comfortably.
easy.
Yep. Comfortably fits 4 and
suits up to 7 for those who want to know. If you really want to get in there with 7 people, it's fine for 7.
And we got a big family, so we have fit a couple of extras on the boat, and it's worked out well.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll jump into the cockpit and we'll walk around what you've done with the rest of the modifications. So I know something that Grays Marine have done an awful lot of in the past is this little transom arrangement. So the main deck runs through the battery boxes. and sort of replaces some of the section of the aft decks. You gain all that in main deck space. So you've obviously put in a bit of a live well there. Makes sense, obviously.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and you've done a bit of a number on these seat boxes as well. They're huge.
Yeah, so this was something that I was quite big on, is that we wanted to make it a sort of a social fishing boat. We do a lot of offshore trolling, whether it be live baiting, lures, or whatever. We do some long trips too. We built the seat boxes big so that you can either sit someone on the back of them if you've got a crowd, you can spin them around while you're trolling, you can face them both out the back, you can face one that way. It's kind of social. The other one we had was the esky, just for the spares that do come along. An extra seat. It's easy to get into. We found this to be the perfect esky to sit in there. It's 115 litre icy tech. It slots away like nothing else. Doesn't take bugger all deck space. The fridge was a bit of a must. We had to have a fridge in here, like that was somewhere for the beers.
100%.
Keep the beers and the fish separate.
And we really wanted to make sure that we had enough deck space for what we want to do with this boat, which is camping. We want to camp, we want to do offshore trips. So the bigger fuel tank, the bigger deck space, which is why we had all the modifications done at the back, so we can fit a double swag in here. So this can double as our camp space. And that is the ultimate goal, is to be able to travel to an island, anchor up, camp on the boat, fish in the day, dive, and then sleep at night.
So with the dash, we didn't really look at the design very well. Kind of overlooked it and got Stephen at Gray's to modify it a bit after it was built, which is not ideal, but he's done a cracker job, and we've managed to raise the dash up to fit in the Simrad Evo 3 12-inch, the zip wakes, and the Suzuki motor gauge as well. So that worked out really well. We're happy with that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a compact design. It was a little bit more compact than we were originally hoping for, but it's actually worked out quite well. So we've got everything in a small space, but it's all at, fingertip reach, and it works out really well for us.
Yeah, it's good.
At the end of the day,
it's still not finished.
Yeah,
the decking for in there turned up while we're away.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, well.
Well, look, yeah, our boat's still a bit of a work in progress, and as full-time workers, we only get a little bit of the weekends to work on the boat, and if the weather's good, we're going fishing.
You can see where we ran out of sea deck up here.
But no, the cabin is amazing. There is so much room in there. We've had a swag, our dive gear, all our fishing gear, everything that we need, safety gear, life jackets, everything fits in there, and it's complete. And some. It's completely ideal for what we want, and that's why we designed the boat this way, because we want to have everything, because we do fishing and we do diving, and we want to be able to do it at any time. So if the fish aren't biting, we're jumping in and spearing them. So, so the cabin is amazing. There's so much storage, so much fits in there, and yeah, we're really happy with it. And yeah, I can say that I'm most happy with my seat, because yeah, as I said, the last boat, I didn't have a seat. So this is top-notch luxury for me. And they turn around so I can watch the lures as we're trolling. I can pull the esky out, lay it out, turns around to face. I can stand up if we're traveling, or I can sit down. So the seats were, yeah, a big feature for me.
I did notice a bit earlier today, Lady Jean. Is there a reasoning behind the name?
Yeah, there is. So the boat's named after my nan, who passed away last year, and she just loved all our fishing stories and the little adventures, and just absolutely loved it. And it was by chance or luck or whatever, the morning that we woke up and decided, yep, okay, finally, just bite the bullet, let's do it. She said yes to the boat. She passed away later that day. So I found it was only fair.
I think that's
been fitting.
Pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
So we decided to build this boat as a tribute to Nana. A royal tribute to a Royal English Rose, Lady Jean. Yeah, she was very special to us, and she was my second chance at a grandparent, and she was the last grandparent that we had. And so she constantly asked about Jimmy, and his boat and his fishing adventures. And we were able to, right at the end of COVID, get her out of the nursing home for one last final visit. And we had Christmas as a family at our place, where she got to see the boat, and our old boat, but she got to see the boat, and it was probably one of the most special moments that we've had ever.
Definitely.
And so the day that she passed away, we decided that we were going to build this boat in her honour.
I'm sure she'd be so stoked looking down, seeing all the stuff you guys do. I'm sure she'd love it. So.
100%. Yeah, she's definitely there with us, and she's definitely brought us a whole bunch of luck, and she's up there watching and very proud.
Yeah, very.
That's awesome. So Get Offshore Go, what is it? How did you come up with it? What's the idea behind it?
It was just an idea that kind of popped into my head just driving in the car. What we do is we get offshore and we go, and at the drop of a hat we pack everything up, chuck it in the boat and get out there and go fishing. So Get Offshore is what we want to do. It's us. Yeah, we get out fishing, diving, adventuring, exploring Australia, exploring the water, anything in, on or around the water, that's us.
That's it. And yeah, a bit of a community-based thing. If there's anything that sort of, we don't know everything, we reach out to a lot of people, and we're trying to build a bit of knowledge that people can also reach out to as well, you know.
Yeah,
help everyone get into it.
Documenting our journey. Me learning about fishing and us growing as a couple and exploring, you know, what we can do and how far we can go.
That's it.
Awesome. Sounds good. We'll have to get out there. I'll have to get offshore and go.
Get offshore,
That's
it.
Right, so that's been the modified 6500 HTO for Get Offshore Go. They've got heaps of their socials down below. Jump on, check out their stuff. Check out Grays Marine as well. They built this thing for them. Yeah, we'll catch you guys later.